there. So it looks like we are in the new hype cycle with AI. Funnily enough, it's been around for a few years, but here we are. One of the things that you find in the technologies, particularly if you are in enterprise architecture, is that new technologies come all the time, new disruptions, new innovations, new ways of doing things. And as a technologist, your job is to figure out which of these can I benefit from and how. A very, very long time ago, I was on a project where they were doing some digital transformation. It wasn't called that at that time. And the idea was to move a customer reservation system from a mainframe onto a web-based version. And the intention was that on the mainframe, they were just very used to doing things very, very quickly with a keyboard. And then they went to web because it was just easier. You could have outsourced centers, where you could take reservations, and people a more modern, more elegant on the flag. And the thing that was very interesting was this is early days of the web. So the thing that was very interesting is in the first session that happened with some of those seasoned users, they went there and they clicked a button and their eyes grew in a horror as the little things spun and spun till they got back a response. That must have taken about 8 or 9 seconds, which for them was eternity. Because on a terminal screen on a mainframe, things happen in sub-second and press 1, do this, do that, and click, and things over. And of course, they were used to offer it. The point I'm trying to make is when you think about new emerging technologies, whether it's AI, blockchain, microservices, or whatever has happened in the last so many years, one of the most profound areas for us in the technologies is to figure out how can we business value with it and how do you get beyond the hype. So every time when I look at one of these technologies, I find that there are 3 really useful metrics to address. One is really the actual business value of this. Is it very valuable to me that something I can write an email for me? Maybe. But that's really something to figure out. If you're a small company with 15 reps, how much value would that be? If you're a company with 5,000 reps, how much value would that be? Are those emails really that great? Do they bring that level of personalization? And is that important for my business to close deals? So that kind of thinking is really important. You think about the business value. What is the actual thing here that's going to move the needle? So that's the first, right? The second part of this is user experience. I love how Einstein GPT or the ChatSpot by HubSpot and things like that are showing an easier user experience, right? Just a single window, you type something, you get a response, and it constantly get better and more smarter and get it back and all of that. And that user experience may be invaluable because the number one issue for any new technology is user adoption, right? I mean, we all have seen so many great technologies come and just die on the vine because of user adoption. The reason multi-billion-dollar decisions today are still made on Excel is user adoption, right? I can guarantee you the largest companies in the world, despite all kinds of technologies, are still using Excel to make important financial decisions. So that's the second aspect, which is user experience. The third thing I find very, very interesting when you evaluate some of the technologies is the degree of innovation, disruption, and competitiveness it will bring. And I wanted to delineate it from business value because it's a question of how much new areas will it unlock. And a number of times that business value is really hard to predict. Look, it's easy to predict that I can reduce case handlings, I can reduce costs, I can reduce inefficiencies. That is easier. But when you look at blockchain, you look at even AI, there is also another aspect, which is even if you had a highly optimized back office, front office, sales, all of your functions are optimized, there is another aspect, which is what will new streams would this open up for us? What new areas of competitiveness will this bring to us? What existing more will it deepen for us so that new players can't enter the industry? The sort of entry-exit barriers and product, new services, new transformations that can happen with technologies is the third part of this. So that's my submission when I'm looking at something like this and thinking on these three parameters to figure out how valuable is this technology going to be and how much will be absorbed. Curious to know what you think. Thank you so much.